Hi everyone, it's Carrie from My Friends Call Me Martha, and I'm here today showing you the split card texture dies, which created this background half triangular piece. So you can see here it comes in two different sections, and I actually used a piece of cardstock that was 5 1/4 by 4, and you can see here on this one I just cut out the one side, and then I'm left here with this area where I can stamp or do whatever. And then on this one, same size, 5 1/4 by 4, but I cut out both of the textures. And like this retirement card here, all you're gonna do is freehand and kind of just cut along the shape. Right now I'm basically following the lines of this side, and then I'm actually going to go back and I will trim off some of the other pattern as well. Just freehand it again because it kind of goes every which way. It doesn't have to be perfect. So there's that side. Get these out of the way. See here, this one I did a little bit more straight. And on this one, I'm just going to kind of take off a little bit more. Okay. Then I'm also for Retirement Wishes is actually taken from, the Paradise Palms stamp set, and then my plants are taken from the Plentiful Plant bundle, which has a stamp set and then all these coordinating dies that cut out all the shapes. I don't know if you can see over here, I have cut out, I actually created one of the little hanging plants. So we are going to use Blackberry Bliss, and this is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4 to give me a card front. And I took a piece of vellum 5 1/4 by 4, and I embossed it with a brick and mortar embossing folder. So for this, the challenge with vellum is that you can see your adhesive through it, so you really kind of want to put your adhesive where it's not going to be seen. So if I'm going to put this layer over here, I know that I can put my adhesive basically on this triangle, which, you know what I'm going to do first, because my brain is struggling to work. So I'm first going to glue this on so I will know exactly what is covered and what is not. And for this, I'm just going to put just a little bit of adhesive all around my border. And then in where we have these bigger spots. And I'm sorry that the table is shaking. I don't know. I swear this desk is very finicky. And I'm going to kind of just put a few little spots over here. Okay. And I'm going to line it up because they're exactly the same size. Perfect. And now I can see exactly where I can put my tape. Well, that worked out much better. And then now we're going to have fun building our scene. And for this one, I wanted to use kind of this hanging basket. And I think what I'm going to do is get my pot. So I do have the paper that's now retired, but some of the shapes actually cut out these items for us. Like you can see here, this cut out this, which is really awesome, but just to save on time. Oh, you know what? I have one of these cut. I want to see if this fits. And again, I probably am overthinking this. I think I just want to use the brown pot. And again, there is a stamp that stamps this image right here. So even though we don't have the paper anymore, you can still create these shapes. Okay, let's see if this fits. It does. All right, so we're going to use a little bit of liquid glue. Might have put too much. All right, so we're gonna let that dry for a minute. And we're gonna work on getting some plants. So I had stamped these in the garden green on just white paper. That does not cut that. And then I used a little bit of washi tape because I'm gonna be cutting out more than one thing at a time. This will just make sure that stuff stays where it's supposed to stay. Whoops, my washi tape ripped. It's okay. And again, you can, I tried it with a bunch of different colors. Like this one is using Evening Evergreen, so a little bit darker. But there's lots of choices of green within the Stampin' Up! Family. All right, I will go run this through. And you can see, so I have the big stamping and emboss machine. There's also a mini version, and I believe with this set, they all would fit in the mini. So if you didn't want to make the investment of the bigger one, the mini is a great choice. But I can't imagine making cards now without having the cut and emboss machines, because you can just do so many fancy things. So you can kind of see my adhesive through this, but I think most people aren't going to notice it. All right, and if what I can do is actually put my plant here to kind of hide it. And I'm actually going to use a dimensional for the plant so that it is not flat and then it kind of is popped up. And then what I'm thinking is also doing a little plant down here. Oh, but maybe I should do it in the green. Let's see. So many choices, so many choices. So this one I just cut out a plain black pot. I'm sorry. It's early espresso, which is like a dark brown color. So I'm going to do that over here. And then for our hanging plant, almost don't even need glue. Maybe I'll just put another dimensional tucked under there. Told you I'm kind of winging it today making this card. Okay. And I feel like I need some sort of twine or something through that little hole. Probably wouldn't really have a bow on it in real life, but because I can be creative, I am adding a bow. Just a baby one. And I'm going to put this on with a glue dot. And that should hold it down. Perfect. You kind of don't even see it, but it's better than having that little. All right. And now I'm just going to add my greenery. And for these, I think I'm just going to use glue dots. So they'll be more flush to the paper. And that's probably enough, but let's see what other kind of little thingies I got over here. I brought in these gold. I had these from a long time ago. I feel like I should have put those in the back. That works. All right. And then I think I want to have my sentiment coming off of that little pot there. So what I'm going to do okay, so for this, I really only want the word that says a little note. So I just want that top part. So what you can use is washi tape to cover up the words that you don't want to stamp. Oh my goodness, can you hear my husband? The man who never wanted the dog. He okay, so back to business here. I covered up with washi tape. If it was a bigger text, you can also use Post-it notes. And what I'm going to do is this will ink up, and I'm using the garden green like I did for my plants. And then you just tear this washi tape off. Ta-da! And now what's inked is just a little note. Sorry, I'm out of focus. Okay. Now, because this is a little bit, let me see how big. Oh, actually not bad. But I think to make it a little bit smaller, I use my big scissors so that I can do hopefully the straightest possible line. Because I'm just going to trim off some of this extra. And I like to do just kind of angled. Like that. Then I'm going to put a little glue in the middle. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Glue dot instead. And I used a little bit bigger of one, so I'm just folding it over. What do you think? Kind of cool, right? All right, so then, because I have more plants, let's see, I cut some ribbon to match this. So we'll make one more card. Actually, though, you know what? I should use my split textures. So this one I'm going to do kind of like I did that retirement card in the beginning. And my card base, I don't know what is going on with my glue. I've been using this like this one is definitely messed up. This is my like needle nose glue. Oh, that's not gonna work. All right, guys, hold on. See, my husband doesn't understand why I need so many of each thing, but it's because of this. Stuff stops working for no reason. What I'll do, if this happens to your glue, is I go. So this one's a little bit harder because there's not really a lot of spots to put the glue. And I smudged that a little bit. There's not a lot of spots to put the glue. I could put it on my craft mat, which works pretty well, and kind of daub it on with a sponge. That to me takes too much time. Okay. So for this one, I'm just going to do a plant at the bottom. And I've got this plain, although I don't know about that. That kind of looks weird. I'm going to use this one. I like this little guy. And again, I'm going to put this on with a dimensional, just so it sticks out a little bit more. And this is one that I stamped in Evening Evergreen, which I believe is that same color. And for this, I'm just going to use like one big glue dot in the middle. And then just like that, fairly simple. Okay. And I think I'm going to do again a little note. So cover up what you don't want stamped. And I'm going to use Evening Evergreen. And I'm going to pull off. I'm left with a little note. Oh, I did pretty good there. That's fairly straight. And then see if this ribbon will actually fit through. I usually use twine, but let's try to be a little fancy. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, everything is 10 times harder on camera. And then these are obviously too long, so I'm going to do little. And again, I'm going to use dimensionals for this. There you go. So fairly simple. Might add, I'm thinking of adding a little gold sprig just to give it a little shimmer. Nah, doesn't want to go, so forget it. Okay, so there you have it. 2 cards. Fairly easy. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in.